was 5, I would practice to be the first black James Bond.
Hello.
It's hello.
Oh. Hello?
But this is a KSFC video, and we're gonna be doing a review for the Premier League for the month of November. And like the title of the video says, we are gonna be discussing about Liverpool, and they are currently going through a disastrous run in the Premier League, and some people have even floated the idea that this might potentially be, if it continues this way for Liverpool, this might potentially be the worst title defense run in Premier League history. Yeah. So we're gonna go in quick, no breaks today. I want this video to be a really short, quick video. We're gonna talk about the 6 games Liverpool played this month. That's Premier League and Champions League, and then we'll discuss some other teams. Particularly we'll focus on Arsenal, Sunderland and Chelsea. So we're gonna get right into it.
When I was 5, I would practice to be the first black James Bond, or a Brit Will Smith blowing up spaceships with stars. I tried to be the best sweet boy singing F Cisco bars. My mom said find your craft or you'll find you're a master of none. I never.
So our first game this month was on the 1st of November. We played Aston Villa. We won that game 2-0. I thought that game was a decent game. I really liked it. We kept a clean sheet, which we've been finding very hard to do this season, and everyone seemed to keep their shape pretty much. But I was just happy we went in, and it was at home, so we went in 1-2-0 and played a decent game. Then the next game after that was on the 4th of November, Champions League. We played Real Madrid again at Anfield. We won that game 1-0. And I think it was a very good win because at the time I was a bit worried because of the form we had in the Premier League. I was kind of worried about a team like Real Madrid. I think they are leading the La Liga table now, and you can clearly see it's the same team Ancelotti had last season, but these players are hungry. They want to win, and Xavi Alonso looks like he's doing a pretty decent job. But they came in, and to be honest with you, if not for the fact that Thibaut Courtois was just playing out of his skin that evening, I think that game could have easily ended up at least 3-0, potentially 5, because he had like 7 majestic saves in that game. He's the sole reason we didn't score more than 1 goal, but like we were on their necks all game, so I was really happy about that. So then we'll move on to the next game. This game was the game before we went on, the league went on an international break. So it was against Man City, November 9, and this game ended 3-0. We lost hard at the Etihad. But what was so surprising about this game was how it was this game where I started getting scared of the fact that we might have lost a pretty crucial part of our identity, because my team is the kind of team that I know if we're 1-0 down and we are going into the halftime, we're coming out with vengeance. At the very least, we're going to draw that match. Usually we win. But in this game, nothing changed. And to be fair, in my opinion, it should have been 1-1. Van Dijk had a headed goal that got cancelled, that got denied. apparently because Robertson was in front of Donnarumma. But then in the Nottingham Forest game, the same situation happened, and the goal for Nottingham Forest stood. So it seemed like there was no real consistency on the ruling. But I feel if that goal had gone in, we would have been going into halftime at 1-1 rather than 1-0, and maybe that could have changed the pace of the game. Or we could have also just finished with 3-1. It might have not really made a difference, but I think this is part of the reason why people complain a lot about these new rules and the PGMOL. There's really no lack of consistency when it comes to enforcing these rules or the interpretation of these rules, right? But we finished game 3-0. I was highly disappointed. They came up for the second half and it just felt like they couldn't be bothered. Like everybody was just playing horribly. Man City was having their way. They made Doku look like a superstar, someone who usually just runs throughout the game and doesn't really do much. They made him look amazing, and I don't know, the whole game just rubbed me off the wrong way. But we'll move from that, because after that game we went on so between November 9 and 22 was international break, so like 2 weeks of international break right there. And by the time we came back, we played our next Premier League game, which was on the 22nd of November against Nottingham Forest, and we lost 3-0 at Anfield. And I was shocked because I was like, Nottingham Forest just got a new manager, I'm pretty sure. Sean Dyche, I think, is their new manager. They got a new manager. They were battling to come out of the relegation zone, so there was no indication that Nottingham Forest should be giving us any that much of an issue. But I was wrong, because it was another atrocious game. We were toothless in the attack and porous in the defense. It was just absolutely shocking. Like, the game ended like it was. This game, after they scored the second goal, I just stopped watching. I went back to editing. No, at that time I think I was doing some work, so I just went back to work. After the game, Google usually sends me like a notification for the final result. I opened it up. I saw they had scored one more goal to make it 3-0, and I wasn't even surprised. I was like, well, thank God I didn't waste my time on that. It was a horrible game. We played like shit. But then we moved on to the next game, which was a Champions League game against PSV. And here I was sitting thinking to myself, okay, it's PSV. We just beat Real Madrid in the Champions League. We can easily, and we are doing it at home again. This piece of cake. The game started. Van Dijk played a dangerous handball move, and he's lucky he didn't end up with a red card. But they got a penalty. Perisic scores, makes it 1-0. Of course, Szoboszlai wasn't having any of that. Got the ball, equalized, made it 1-1. So by the time we're going in for halftime, it's 1-1. It looks like the team is bouncing back. But no, they were not bouncing anywhere, because PSV came out and dogged us throughout the second half. Like, they lil-broed us so hard. They scored 3 more goals to make it 4-1. Again, just like the game before, when it got to 3-1, I changed it. I changed it expecting that it would finish at 3-1, because it was like 10 minutes left. By the time Google sent me the update, it was 4-1. And yeah. So yeah, that was the 5th match for November. We were disgraceful, and honestly, except for Szoboszlai, I think every player that played that match, that either started or came off the bench, should be fined 1 week of wages. They were atrocious. Then we go to the last game of the league. Now, before this game, everybody was already clamoring, like non-Liverpool fans talking about, is this gonna be the game where Slot gets fired? Liverpool fans were, as usual, unhappy, but still willing to support the club, which is what I think a real fan should do. And the club apparently released a statement saying they were gonna give, pretty much implying they were gonna give Slot enough time to correct the trajectory the club was on. And in my opinion, which is what I think you should do, because regardless of what you say, that man has won you a Premier League title, and to do it in his first season, I think he deserves to be given the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, we got it was a pretty good game. I think we focused on the fundamental. When I saw he didn't put Salah on the starting sheet, I was like, okay, this is gonna be interesting. Isak up front, Szoboszlai behind him, Florian to the left, Gakpo to the right, Gravenberch on the right mid, and McAllister on the left mid. And then we had Van Dijk, Konate, Gomez coming in on the right back, and Kekes, if I remember right, on the left. Alisson in goal. And I think we played amazingly. Like, it wasn't like blow your mind, but it was like we kept the ball right. We didn't panic. None of that. The game just flowed ever so smoothly. We went in the second half, felt it for halftime, and it was 2-2 if I 0-0 if I believe. And yeah, we came in at the 60th minute. Isak scored his first Premier League goal for us. It was an amazing finish. I think it was a pass from Gakpo, and Isak one-touched it. Like, he one-touched it to the near post, down low on the ground. Beautiful finish. And then the second finish was Cody. Cody got a goal at the 90th plus second minute, so extra time, and we wrapped up the game 2-0. It was good to see everybody go back to basics. Salah didn't start or get subbed in. The only players that we subbed on were we put in Ekitike for Isak, Robertson came in for Kekes, and then we took out Florian and put in an extra midfielder in Curtis Jones to keep the game balanced. So yeah, I think it was a fantastic game. Oh, not fantastic. I think fantastic is me overhyping it. But everybody, I started to see what Liverpool could look like without Salah in it, because he's been the main man in our attack for a long time now. But this was an attack that had all fresh players, and it just looked right. It felt right. So yeah, Florian had a pretty good game as well. So cool, big ups to him. So we're gonna talk about the rest of the league now. I'm definitely not wasting too much time on this. I just have a few things to say about those three teams I mentioned at the beginning specifically. So for Arsenal, I'm gonna give them their props. They are doing way better than I thought they would be performing at this stage. They have dropped 2 points, 4 points, but I mean 2 points per game. That was the game against Sunderland and the game against Chelsea. I think they drew 2-2 to Sunderland, if I remember right, and they drew 1-0 to Chelsea, 1-1 to Chelsea. I said 1-0 game, yeah, 2-2 to Sunderland and 1-1 to Chelsea. But other than that, they've been having a fantastic week, and even with those draws, they are still sitting at the top of the table with 30 points. I think the next team is 5 or maybe 6 points behind them in Chelsea. sorry, in Man City. So Man City is 25 points. Chelsea is third, tying points with Aston Villa at 24 points. So yeah, I just want to give them the props where it's due. I think they've had a really, really, really good season so far, and I think they're doing great. Sunderland, for me, whoever their manager is should be getting manager of the season. They are playing really well. They are playing way above where anybody would thought they would be playing to by this point of the season. They also won their last game of the month against Bournemouth, 3-2. So they won 3-2 against Bournemouth. I'm just happy for them, and I really hope they break the cycle of all clubs that come up go back down. So, and if that's the case, I think they are doing it in a fantastic way. Chelsea is really surprising me this month. I didn't think they will show the kind of form they've been showing. They beat Barcelona 3-0. I think they played, was it Man U or Man City? And they drew with Arsenal 1-1. So this season, by the way, Liverpool is the only team that has beat Arsenal. The only loss Arsenal has this season came from us. So yeah. So Chelsea has actually been doing pretty well. However, what I will say is not to rain on their parade or anything, but I will say it feels temporary. The form they are showing now feels very temporary. So I'm gonna give them their props for this month because they played really well in the month of November. But I think it's temporary form. So let's wait and see if they can actually keep doing this to the end of the season. But that pretty much wraps up the video. I'm hoping Liverpool make my Christmas and my New Year's, that's December and January, really fun and get out of this slump that we are in, because again, we are not far from the top of the table. The amount of points between us, Liverpool at 8, and the team in second position is 4 points. So even with all the shittiness we've displayed this season, we are only 4 points behind the team that is on top of the table. The team that is second on the table. So 4 points is literally two games, like winning 2 games away from getting second position back. And at that point, we could be having as much as 3 points between us and Arsenal. But I'm not trying to dream, but the point is, if we can play well this December and January, I think we might, even if we're not back in the title race, I think it means we are securing Europe next season, which is very important, especially after the spending we had this summer. Also, so I just want to do a few announcements. There's gonna be a video coming out for the mid-December, I think another 2 weeks from now. So for this December and January, you guys are getting 2 videos each month because there's gonna be a ton of games throughout these 2 months. So I figured I'll drop every 2 weeks and then we'll go back to the regular monthly schedule in February. But yeah, so there'll be a video coming out on the 17th. I'm pretty sure I have that date right, on the 17th. So you guys should keep an eye out for that. And yeah, I want you guys to like, share, subscribe, down, comment your favorite team and what you think about how they are playing currently and what you expect your Christmas and your New Year's to be like in terms of the performance from your team. Yeah, you guys should have a great day. Enjoy the festivities, enjoy the holidays, and watch out for the other videos coming out this month. They are all gonna be crazy good videos. We're stepping up everything here. Camera quality is going up. We have a new microphone. Editing style is going up, so you guys should just keep an eye out for all of that. But yeah, so have a good day, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.
New videos uploaded every week, so subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thanks for being here. I hope you enjoy the journey.
I tried to be the best sweet boy singing them Cisco bars. My mom said find your craft and you'll find you're a master of none. I never chose one. So what? My dog